I've been building cars for over 20 years. I've worked alongside many badasses, including legends and Hall of Famers. I'm sharing what I've learned. I'm Alan Banuelos. Welcome to School of FAB. Welcome back. Yes. So happy to see you. So now we are about to begin a new build. Yeah, it's about to get exciting. So, the last build, it was more about budgeting, more about can it be done? And, it looks great for what it is. But now, trying to pick the pace up a little, step my game up a little, and now we're going to get into this other build, which is going to showcase a little more higher level skill. Stuff that I got away with on Junebug, I definitely won't be able to get away with on this one. So without further ado, meet Daisy. Say hello to Daisy. 1962 Dodge D100. This thing here came with 3 engine options, 2 inline 6s, which nobody cares about, and a cool 318. This 18 is pretty special with its nicknames: Poly 318, Wide Block, or Big Block 318. This thing's pretty impressive. So most people argue, is this a big block or is this a small block? And we don't know. Chrysler called it the A479 or the A Series 318, but that's all they said. You can recognize them very easily by the 2 bolts on the valve covers. Super cool. So we have, let's see, Daisy. Okay. 62 D100. All right. Step 1, we want to clean it out. We want to get everything, in this case, a bed. We want to get everything out of the bed. We want to get the interior, as far the carpet, the seat out. Just pull everything out. We want to work with the clean slate. Clean out, including seats, carpet. I think we have a little bit of floor work to do in this one, so pulling the carpet for sure. Either way, if we were doing not doing the floors, we would still pull the carpet anyways, because body work, primering numerous times, sealers, and then when it gets to the base coat, clear coat, it's just too much work. It's easier to just pull it out, get it out the way, never worry about it again until the end. So, step number 1. I didn't even write that. Here we go. Step 1's done. So we've cleaned everything out the bed. We took the carpet out, the seats out. If it had big door panels, I would have pulled them, but since they were small, I'm gonna do it on this next step. Step 2 is gonna be strip all the chrome. I want all the chrome off, all the glass off. Anything I'm not gonna be working, trying to make nicer, whatever, stays on. So we'll put pool. Pool chrome and glass. So Most importantly, when you do these things, make sure to have Ziploc bags, masking tape, Sharpies. Be very specific. Like you pull left mirror, you pull the left mirror, put the hardware in the bag, and put left mirror hardware. Like it's super specific. Makes it so much easier at the end. So, bag and tag. Okie doke. The bumper, I'm gonna measure it. On the outside, it's got about an inch. And then it gets small. I'm talking like 3/4 of an inch right here. And then right here. Here's my notes. 1 inch, 3/4, 1 inch, 1 3/8, and 1 7/8. One last thing I want to add is make notes. Make notes on the vehicle. So we'll put 2A. Make notes. Now, whether you use a Sharpie on the vehicle, whether you use a crayon, it doesn't matter. As long as you're making notes on the vehicle, that way you know what needs to be done as you're taking it apart. You're making notes. It stays in your subconscious. You won't blow that up. They're obvious, but it's always better. Keep yourself a little notepad. Write yourself notes. Write on the vehicle. Make notes. And now, for this is how I do it moment. Pull my light off. 1 screw at a time. Make sure I've got my Ziploc sandwich bag. Nice. Okay, here we go. So I got my light. Oh, this is a little big. So you see here where it's cut. What I'm gonna end up doing is cutting them both for sure. Just a ground that never got plugged in. I'm sure it doesn't need it. Anyways, I put a tape on one on both sides of the cut so I know how to match them up. And I'm sure it's simple, but I'm showing you a simpler way to do it. That way there's no questioning, there's no trying to figure out what's going on. It's just, you see tape, you put it on, you put the other side on, and then everybody's happy. And I'll cut it right down the center. That way I can put it right back in the same spot. So here's my bag. I will place my light inside of my baggie. Now that we have our arms, legs, feet, whatever, in, I will get to the point of what I'm trying to show you. Okay, sealed. So, put my light in the baggie. This is how I do it. Use some tape. Put it at the end. And very nicely, all right. 62 D100, and it is a right to right. Simple. Keep it simple. Focus, hard work where it needs to be done.
Okay, well, this is awesome. We're gonna beat some of these in. I'm gonna put it back on. I'm not gonna do it perfect because I have to strip it. So, but while it's off, these little love taps.
Okay, and now for the next step. So before we move on, we did step 1, we did step 2. When I say bag and tag, like really be specific, you know, even though you know and I know what these are, if someone's helping you, it just makes it easier. And it's a lot easier when you're not searching for bolts and nuts. It's all in one bag. And this is missing one striker bolt. So make notes. On 2B, and not 2B, second note is go ahead and tap your hose. Now, I know what that sounds like, but it's not what it means. You have a tap and die set. As you pull bolts off, just tap them while you're there. So when you go back to put all this stuff back together, it just goes on easily and you're not struggling, which is the main thing. So keep that in mind. Now, for me, this is the most important step. Is step 3. And step 3 is the alignment. So what I mean by the most important step, everything has to be lined up. Your body lines have to line up. Gaps, we make them. Your hood, everything has to be open, closed properly. So this is where I start my alignment. After my alignment, we'll get into a little bit of custom work because he wants me to tuck the bumpers in. So we'll align and then we'll tuck the bumpers and it'll be in this stage right here. So I'm gonna put alignment and then 3A. Tuck in bumpers. So there we go. We'll get the whole thing lined up, aligned. We'll put the door latches back in after we clean them up. We'll probably blast them real quick and throw a little sealer on them and get ready to do the bumpers. So yeah, I'll say it's party time. So next, y'all know we have to replace these doors. The issue I'm having is these doors didn't come with enough bolts for the window frame. So I'm having to borrow some. So these Dodges, the window frame pulls out. There's a bolt here, and there's a bolt down here, and in front also. So
Let me get this door off. That's the most important thing. These doors also have a cover. If you see all these body lines come in, super cool. And then here there's a cover. You pull this cover off, and there's your two bolts. Here we go. I'm just gonna break them all loose. About to get hard. Lastly, I remember these doors are pretty heavy. So one bolt left. I think I'm ready. We're about to find out soon. All right. Let's see. Wow. There we go. Look at that. Easy. All right. Door off. Look at that, like a glove. Now, I honestly think the key to this is putting them all on there by hand. Get it all hand tight. Once it's hand tight, then you can adjust it to where you need to start to tighten it. So, last one. Okay, I didn't have a rubber mallet, so what I do have is a body man's best friend, the 2x4. I have built many hot rods with the 2x4. So next what I want to do is make sure that my hinge is even moving. Because I honestly don't think it's moving. So, push this in. Alright. Now, there we go. The door needs to come out just a hair, but if I pull out any, you see this is already sticking out, so it's just gonna come out more. So I'm just gonna hit it from the inside and hit the center out so it'll meet up. But first, I say we strip it down. Okay, so we ran into a situation, not a, let's throw it away situation, but my spare door, the bottom hinge is all cracked and beat up. This is all beat up. This door's just horrible. And as I was taking it apart and cleaning it, I noticed, and I didn't know how bad this door was until looking at it now. The reason we were replacing it was on this bottom, it's all rotted out naturally. Those Mopars, old cars in general, rot in the same areas. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip both of them, strip the bottoms of them about 4 or 5 inches, or the tops of them, and see what the metal looks like. and I'll do the same to the spare door, and then we'll go from there and we'll figure out which one. Well, actually, I know we're gonna use this one, so I don't know. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Now, and in case you don't have a spare door like I do, you could always just make it out of sheet metal, probably like 18 gauge. I would say fairly easy to, you know, use, shape. It's a little beat up, but it's not as bad as rusted through. So now, let's strip this thing. We got PV Blaster. And the reason I use PV Blaster is because it's silicone free. Since we're going to be doing body work, I guess I'll use something that'll help us do a good job. This thing is missing a lot of pieces. The passenger door was complete with hinges, latches, everything. All the mechanism to roll up and down. This is just going to be a shell. Glass appears to be intact, so I'm going to try not to break it. What problem is this? Got a couple times. Yeah, there we go. Almost. Again. Woo! Very scary. Sketch. Okay. So, try to get into a little detail here. See if I can work. What I'm going to do is use my tape, start marking my cut lines. So all I did was follow the body line. I'll do the same to this door. There's our piece. You can see it's a little rotted on the inside, but the pieces that we need seem to be pretty good. I'll clean it up the best I can, use some chemicals to stop the rust, and try to get it all in bare metal, and we'll go from there. Okay, doke. So here's the piece we cut off the other side. As you see, it's going to sit around somewhere around right here. It's a little rusted, so I'm gonna go ahead and blast all this, and I'll clean it with some chemicals to make sure that it's all rust free, and we have neutralized the rust. There's a couple of pieces of metal where the rust is ate through, so we'll just clean those up and replace some pieces too. So anyways, the biggest piece I'm going to focus on is this one, because as you see, this door is horrible. So now that I've got my piece, I'll set it to the side. And what I want to do is take 3 measurements. I'll do one here. I'm going to use this body line because it works perfect. And we're sitting on, let's say, 23 and looks like 15/16. So we'll see. Oh wow. The middle is 24 1/4, and then we'll do one on this side. And this looks like 24 3/4. So it's 24 3/4. So there you see it. You want to measure all 3 sides, front, middle, and back, just to see, you know, if it's even. In my experience, you'll never have a door. Well, maybe some. The older you get, throw all that out the door. So it's wider here, and it thins out. Not even an inch, but it's all good. Okay, I don't know if y'all have learned this before, but you know how the lip kind of folds over the door skin once it's in here. That's how it kind of locks itself into place. So in order to get it off, like here, all we have to do is just shave this, and the bottom should just fall once it breaks through. Okay, now I've got all my measurements. Now I made a little line here and there. I'm going to trim it and see if I can get this to fit over the way it's supposed to be. Sweet, I think we're there. So I guess now it's just time to clean. Knock the rest of this off. Clean the inside of this while I'm here. I'll go ahead and clean the inside of this while I'm here. We'll throw some chemicals in there, make sure it's going to stay super good. So far everything's looking good, so I'm just going to keep pushing and get her done. Let's do this. Time to get messy. All right, now I'm just going to roughly set this on. And then I'll tack it in place and I'll measure it just to give me an idea. Okay. Just got it flipped over, and now I'm just gonna follow this line and cut it all the way down, and hopefully I can keep it straight. Just like that.